My wife and I didn't have much money when we got started, and I used diamonds out of my grandmother's engagement ring to provide the engagement ring for my wife, and she gratefully accepted the beautiful ring that she actually does still enjoy today. But Emily Wilson just recently flamed out another supposed conservative female influencer online for having an engagement ring that's perhaps too small, and then all of the clause came out about what these women actually do when the cameras aren't on in order to gain their influence and take advantage of their positions. But do they really have what it takes to be a real influencer in their homes and in their marriages? I have my doubts. Watch this.
I won. So she is announcing that not only is she in a relationship, which people didn't know, but she also is engaged. The slightest, but right-wing feminists, MAGA, whatever they are, they exploded for a myriad of reasons online, but the conversation quickly became about the size of her ring. And it was specifically fueled by this comment from Emily. She just said the ring size with like the dead emoji, which means LOL.
A real conservative woman isn't impressed by carrots. They are thinking generationally. And my wife is raising the next generation within our household, our 4 children. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world, and she is doing a much better job at having actual legacy and influence than many of these influencers that got into the most gigantic brawl on X about, if nothing else, ring size, but also what they do in their own bedroom activities and whether they are truly conservative, traditional women.
And she said, "You give it up for free, ho, might want to sit this one out." So she jumps in. She responds to Morgan and says, "Morgan, you are a single mother with a public video admitting that you have HPV. You may want to sit this one out too." And then Morgan responds with that. Morgan, your baby daddy abandoned you. You're raising a bastard child. But yet somehow, someway you think you're better than me or anyone on this app. You gave it up for free, got left in the dust, and now post rage bait on X to supplement the inadequacy of your monthly child support payments.
My wife does have vast influence, and it doesn't take her a monetized channel on X to do that. She does have influence over our 4 children, a classroom full of young people 2 days a week in the private school setting, in a private Christian school setting. She has influence over 8 chickens and 2 cats, influence over the children that she works with in the children's ministry at church, as well as influence over me as we move forward in a covenant relationship and try our best to glorify God in everything we say and do. This is what it looks like to be a traditional woman of faith. We look online and see these self-declared conservative women such as Pearl Davis, Emily Wilson, Sarah Stock, and whoever else. They're shouting about tradition while publicly digging each other, saying explicit things, cussing at each other, calling each other all kinds of names, including bedroom activity, transmissive diseases that they're accusing each other of having. This is not what it looks like, obviously, to be conservative. I would vaunt and hold up a picture of a woman who's truthfully conservative, which would be the woman who probably doesn't seek to have this type of influence online persistently, because that is inherently not conservative, not in the traditional sense of the word, because we are henceforth conserving things that are in the rear view that we value about society, and that has never been internet influencing. My wife doesn't need a platform to have power. She has presence in our household and elsewhere. She doesn't need to build a brand. She is building a family and future generations. Real women don't need to platform conservatism online. They live it quietly, consistently, and in their homes with grace. I love that we're having this argument in public right now, because what it means to be truly conservative is within the spotlight right now. And as the nation tried to build a wide tent in order to bring in these type of influencers into the movement, there's a great many of them that our purity requirements must begin to cast out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let's not make the ring a thing. And by the way, ours wasn't that big. Have a good day.